The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short.
Was the summer before the real world started, and the deal was we would get to go if we cleaned it up and got it running. That is old Winnebago, and winging a prayer down a 65, 5 best friends on football ties. I can still see Billy smiling when we finally made it to Talladega. Boys raised the
Talladega Superspeedway lives up to its name. Of all the closed circuit motorsports facilities in the world where sanctioned auto races are held, it is the fastest. Constructed by the France family 10 years after Daytona International Speedway, Talladega was built slightly longer at 2.66 miles, with steeper banking at 33 degrees, which guaranteed record-setting speeds. The pole speed for NASCAR's first race in 1969 was a stunning 199.466 miles per hour, almost 30 miles per hour faster than the Indy cars were then lapping at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Rule changes in 1987 meant Bill Elliott's 212.809 mile per hour lap will likely stand forever as the qualifying record at Talladega and for NASCAR. Talladega is still the fastest track on the schedule. It holds the record for the fastest 500-mile stock car race at 188.354 miles per hour, Mark Martin's winning speed in May of 1997, and produces some of the most exciting door-to-door racing every year. Talladega puts 5 separate race events each year as host to the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity Series, Camping World Trucks, and the ARCA Series. Tonight, we decide a championship. It's the Superior Class Auto Racing Dega Decision Maker 125. It's coming up next on HBR TV. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, joined in the broadcast booth by Eric Dotson. Eric, how are you this evening?
I'm doing good, Steve. How about you?
A little bittersweet. Last race of the season here for the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series. It is the Dega Decision Maker 125. We've got 4 drivers here up for a championship here tonight. All going to lay it on the line. It's not going to be worrying about points. It's all going to come down to who can finish ahead of the other 3 drivers. Man, oh man, Eric, you've spent some time out here in the practice session already tonight. What is your feeling on really the temperature of these drivers that are in contention for a championship? And really, we got a good field tonight, so this is going to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, everybody's wanting to get that championship out of the four that's in it, and what better place to do it than right here, where anybody can win and anything can happen on the last lap or any lap for that fact. The draft played so much of a part, as it should and always does here, but it felt like it had a different feel in the draft. So I'm anxious to see these guys. I mean, we got a lot of guys out here for a championship run, so I think we're going to see something exciting.
Definitely talked a little bit in the session about two different forms of a race that we could run into tonight. It's going to be a wild barn burner right off the bat, or it's going to be slow, kind of docile all the way up until maybe the last 5 laps, and then things are going to get a little chaotic. But time will tell. We're going to find out here in a little bit with less than 5 minutes left in practice. The 75 of Jamie Kerr listed as fastest, Zach Millett second. They both show the same time. Then it's Vince Short, Alfie Charon, same time there, 50.96. Again, these are all draft-related laps. Alan DeFries, a 51.55. Mark Truxell with the same. I mean, all really, really tight times. Again, a product of drafting here. With these trucks, they punch such a big hole in the air. They create a very significant draft. Really creates a lot of big runs. I guess you can kind of, the closing rate from yourself to the trucks in front of you, pretty significant. You got to be thinking on your feet, ready to make a move inside, outside, up the middle, or let off. What did you feel out there tonight? I mean, you were working in the draft with these guys. You said the draft felt a little different. How so?
Before, I felt like side draft was kind of more efficient, and you could side draft a lot better. When I was out there running with these guys, it felt like if you did not have somebody pushing you, or you didn't have someone in front of you giving you that draft, the truck.
If anybody wants to confirm that we are indeed back to live streaming, that would be very helpful. Eric, you're awful quiet. Do we still have you as well? Are we having some big time problems here?
Yeah, I'm here. I was trying to pull up the YouTube myself to check on us.
Looks like we've got things back up and running here.
Yeah, it feels weird hearing myself, hearing that great old accent I got.
All right, Keaton Burnett confirms it. Stream's back up on his end. I see it on my end as well. I can only imagine. Maybe it's because we used some, audio early on that we should not have been using. I had to give it a try anyway, but nonetheless, we're back up and running. That's all right. No worries, no harm, no foul. Practice just about over. Qualifying about to get underway. Who do you got for the pole here?
I am going to take Vincent Short.
Vincent Short for the pole. Not a bad pick by any means. I don't know what it is about Vincent Short. He definitely has something when it comes to laying down a fast lap on these super speedways, especially. Definitely very good on the super speedways. Tristan Sykes in the stream chat says Zach Millett should be penalized. He should have to run a Formula V tonight. Keaton Burnett, 100% agree. Oh, hearing my own accent. He's talking about you, Eric.
What is it?
Well, you said you didn't want to hear your own voice on the stream, your own accent. And Keaton comes up in the stream chat and says, I 100% agree about the hearing my own accent.
I think he Kentucky boy?
Yeah, I think Keaton's Kentucky, yeah.
I'd say me and him's close then.
So qualifying about to get underway. In fact, we are in the session right now. Let's take a look. Vincent Short, he's your pick for the pole. Let's see what kind of lap he can lay down.
Vince normally does pretty good at these qualifying restrictor plates, so he's hard to go against if you made me pick somebody, which you did, but you never told your pick.
Well, because you took my pick.
Oh.
I'm going to go with Neil Quick for the pole.
Neil Quick. And you know, this is a long race tonight. So, I mean, do these guys that's in the championship, do they really go for the pole, or do they just want to kind of hang out at the back?
It's tough to say. I mean, we're all racers, right? We want to be first, whether it's qualifying or during the race or even practice. We're always out here trying to be top of the board no matter what session we are in. But yeah, if I'm a championship guy, honestly, personally, I think I want to start up front and I want to stay up front. If you avoid the back to the middle of the pack, you're likely to be in better shape.
I don't know. I kind of got a different take with, you know, I think there are 19 cars out here and 4's in the championship. So there are 15 other trucks out here that they're just going for the win, and they're not caring about points or taking care of their truck. They're just chasing a trophy. And normally when that happens, wrecks happen.
Well, either way, I know these guys, there's 4 drivers again contending for a championship. Brandon Mefford, Neil Quick, Brian Rose, Zach Millett. All the drivers in the field are aware of that. You got to wonder if anyone's got a score to settle or not. That could be the case. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. But you got to kind of hope that everyone's going to be minding their P's and Q's, kind of giving these guys some room to race for that title. But at the same token, you've got other guys out there that just want to win the race. You know, that's their right too as a racer. So we'll see how those things play out throughout the course of the event this evening. Vincent Short, first lap of 56.201.
Him and DeFreeze with identical times, it looks like.
DeFreeze ran right down to the thousandths of a second. Vincent Short, Alan DeFreeze, the exact same time. That was the first lap for both drivers, I believe. Yes, it was. We'll see where DeFreeze checks in here. Short down to the apron through the tri-oval.
Zach Millett coming through.
56.13 for Millett. Yeah, Short still maintains the second spot of 56.23. First lap for Short was quickest. Ellen DeFreeze also a 56.23. Very, very interesting. Jamie Kerr finishes up 56.350. Doesn't worry about that set of tires. Mark Truxell on the speedway. His first lap of 56.928.
Brian Rose went to second.
Rose missing the pole by 6/100ths of a second, at least for now.
Mr. Consistency here, Mark Truxell. We'll see if he can get a little bit faster. I know Mark would love to end this season with a win.
Mark Truxell definitely going to be in contention here tonight, as long as he can keep that truck in one piece, keep it clean, keep it out of trouble. Very good, very calculating race driver. Second lap, 56.28, seventh fast for Mark Truxell.
So, you know, we've been a little bit through qualifying here, and I've still seen, or yet to see, Neil Quick and Medford go out to qualify.
And maybe that's by design. I mean, you talked about it just a few moments ago. You know, what's the strategy as a championship contender here tonight? As qualifying comes to an end, Drew Blaze does not get to complete his last lap. So let's take a look at it. Our starting grid for tonight's Dega Decision Maker 125. Superior Class Auto Racing season finale from Talladega. Zach Millett on the pole with a lap time, 56.130 seconds. Teammate Brian Rose starts to the outside, the number 89 Track Bar Media Machine. Both drivers in contention for a championship here tonight. Row number 2, it's the 15, another HBR entry. Vincent Short starts third. Alan DeFreeze, the number 71, rolls from the 4th position with Yet again, another HBR entry, the number 72 of Carson Conway. He starts 5th. Right Turn Racing's number 6, Chris Goins, starts in the 6th position with Mark Truxell. Out of HLC Motorsports, the number 5 starts from the 7th position. Starting 8th, Will Hewitt in the number 33 from Outcast Racing with Jamie Kerr, the number 75, Black Acid Custom Racing Apparel, HBR TV entry. He starts 9th. Keaton Burnett, the number 26 from Lone Star Racing, rounds out the top 10 in that starting position. 11th goes to Drew Blaze. That was his first lap around. Was not able to get the second lap in. Brandon Mefford, another championship contender for tonight. He starts in the 12th spot. Alfie Sharon Jr., the number 39, he'll start 13th. Neil Quick, our 4th and final championship contender, the regular season champion with Quick Esports, the number 2, starts in the 14th spot. Mike Fahey, the number 19 with Lone Star Racing, starts 15th with Chris Mefford, the number 84/46. He'll start 16th. William George, the number 96 with Esports Racing Association, starts 17th. Eric Dotson's in the booth with me. Don't worry about him. But then it's Rob Hattenback and Eddie Rose will round out your 18th and 19th starting positions. It's your starting grid here for the Dega Decision Maker 125. Field getting ready to roll in just a moment. We will take one pace lap before we take the green flag and get this one underway.
Who's your pick tonight, Steve?
That is a very, 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 very difficult question to answer. This being the final race with Scar. Lord, who do we pick? I'm not going to go with the championship driver. I'm going to pick the 15 of Vince Short.
Okay, I won't take a championship driver either then. I'm going to go with, I've picked him a few times this season, and, you know, I really like his style and how consistent he is. I know you know who I'm talking about, Mark Truxell with the number 5.
Mark Truxell, my pick last week. Tonight, it's Eric Dotson taking the 5 of Mark Truxell. 2 solid picks. Honestly, I think this might be the tightest 2 drivers we have picked to win the race here all season long. This could be a really fun one to watch.
Yeah, who you guys taking in the chat? I'm sure we'll have a few take Fahey.
We got about 15 of you guys here watching. A bunch already in the stream chat. Mostly drivers, it seems. Keaton Burnett, Mike Fahey, Tristan Sykes here. Getting ready to watch Fahey wreck, maybe. Says, I need a big wreck, Mike. Don't let me down. Really glad to see these guys back with Lone Star Racing. They've been with us all season long. Drew Blaze was in it up until the very bitter end last week. Did not make the championship 4. Really glad to see those guys back here running Talladega. They didn't need to be here, but they are here, and they're certainly going to contend for a race win here tonight. Nothing to lose as far as championship points are concerned for those guys. So they're out here chasing a checkered flag. That's just an interesting dynamic that you got to pay attention to as a championship driver. Is, yeah, you're going to be out here trying to race against your other 3 championship competitors, but you also got to worry about everybody else out there who's not worried about a championship. They just want to win the race. Tristan Sykes stream a little smidge choppy. Looks good on my phone. It might be on your end. Looking further back, I may have actually clicked the end stream button early on because I'm an idiot, but whatever. These things happen. Pace car off the racetrack. Field has to go all the way through the tri-oval before they get to start-finish. Again, start-finish line further down the racetrack, not like at Daytona where it's right in the middle of the tri-oval. Green flag waves. We're underway from Talladega.
Let's go, baby. This is all the marbles. Last Scar race of the year. Looks like we're off to turn 1 pretty good. Zach Millett gets a little bit of a lead. Brian Rose tucks down in front of him. Now you got 4 HBR trucks right there in line on the low side.
Definitely tell the HBR boys spent some time talking strategy. You got all 4 of them lined up in a row. I would expect to see that a common theme here most of the evening.
Yeah, I think they'll try to stay together, but, you know, these guys are going to try to get them apart as well, so we'll see what happens. You can see Alan DeFreeze on the high side coming.
Lap 1 just about complete. Everybody content, at least to the inside lane. Zach Millett with the lead of the first lap. The 71 DeFries coming to the outside, though, with a pusher, that in the form of Chris Goins. Goins, the number 6 I-lending machine, giving a big push to the 71. Will Hewitt closing into the back of the 6 as well. Keaton Burnett there, Drew Blaze as well. Some heavy hitters on that high side. Keaton Burnett making a move to the outside, looking for space for a position already here. The lap number 2 down the backstretch. We're 3 wide into 3. 2 rows deep, 3 rows deep for position here at Talladega.
If I'm a championship driver, I'm dropping to the back. I'm not going 3 wide this early. But let's go. Look how exciting this is.
Well, we got 1 of 2, and it's the first one we thought of. That's crazy excitement right off the bat. Lap 2 not even complete. We're 3 wide for the top positions. Looks like Keaton Burnett might lead this lap, or it'll be Alan DeFries. Hard to say. No idea. Maybe Keaton Burnett would have been a photo finish otherwise. Thank goodness we didn't have that.
I think that inside line just said, hey, guys, we're on lap 2. You all take it.
Yeah, and that's the thing we talked about a little bit early on. These guys are just chasing a win. They can afford to be very aggressive. Again, 1 faster pair for all the drivers tonight. Wasn't the plan throughout most of the season in all these other races, but the super speedways, they allow it. You get 1 faster pair just in case something unforeseen happens, takes out half the field. It's really more of a bailout for us here at the broadcast, because calling 8 trucks in a 50-lap race at Talladega, that could be a little rough.
Yeah, Burnett, though, I mean, he's showing that he's going to be aggressive. He went to the high side, making it 3 wide early on, and he's right there battling for the lead, so we'll definitely have to keep an eye on the 26. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with here.
We talked about HBR having a plan at the get-go. Looks like Lone Star Racing does as well. Keaton Burnett, the number 26, Drew Blaze, the 19 of Mike Fahey. All 3 of those trucks out of the Lone Star Racing stables working together on the high side, and it's paying off so far as it got the 26 out in front. A little bit of a seesaw, teeter-totter battle here on the back straightaway between Keaton Burnett and Alan DeFries as they enter turn number 3. Burnett with a nose out in front. Chris Goins still pushing the 71 down on the bottom side. Zach Millett, championship leader as they run. Runs 3rd on that inside line, 6th overall.
Yeah, I think you got to make sure you make some friends this week, and you got to make sure that you're going to be able to work with somebody here. Everybody knew that the HBR guys would have the biggest bunch of trucks in here, so I'm sure these other guys has talked and developed a plan.
Interesting that we talk about the Lone Star Racing trucks lined up in a row. Jonathan Arnn in the stream chat. Drew is a hell of a pusher in the trucks. Yeah, we're seeing that right now, and with the car control that Keaton Burnett has, that is going to be a potent combination to beat, especially coming down the last couple of laps. If these guys are anywhere near the front, expect a big push out of the 1.
Yeah, he's all over him, doing a great job, and hopefully he don't get out of line here.
Well, Drew's out of line here. I think trying to get the temperatures cooled down. More than likely, that's the case with the 1.
Yeah, I thought Fahey was going to get into the back of him there. That's why I started stuttering a little bit.
Riding on board here with Drew Blaze. Again, he dropped to that outside lane to fall back to the back of the pack. Maybe he's finding something's a little bit off as far as what's going on up front. Didn't like the temperature of the race drivers out in front of this field. Decided, you know what, I'm going to cool things down and go to the back. Maybe it's just a kind of a test to see how difficult it will be to kind of draft your way back up through the field from a position of where he is at currently. Blaze sits 13th, a little bit of a lift out of the throttle into 3. Didn't want to close in on Alfie Charon Jr. too much. You hear Drew lifting out of the throttle quite a bit, maybe just saving fuel. That could be the case too. We've been under the green flag here since it came out for about 6.5, 7 laps. I know it's not necessarily indicating what kind of run we're going to have. It's still pretty early, but it's never too early to start worrying about how much fuel you have and how much you're going to have later.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't get no caution, which hopefully we don't, these guys are going to have to make some green flag pit stops. And, you know, the less fuel you got to put in it, the better. The longer you can make it, the better.
Again, 50 laps the race distance here tonight. You get a stage caution at lap 35. Likely a green flag stop in this first stage, so that's something to keep an eye out for, especially if we stay under the green flag.
I would think it would be just a splash and go, just enough to get to the stage, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I don't see why they would take tires, especially here at Talladega Superspeedway. Yes, there are some benefits to fresh rubber, but it's not essential. I mean, you could effectively, this is a 50-lap race. That's basically a tire run. You could run this whole race without bolting on a new set of Goodyear Eagles. The difference being is, yes, you can do it, but maybe you can make more aggressive moves with those fresher tires. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe you can handle that big push that Chris Jones is giving Alan DeFries right now down the back straightaway. But as this run goes on further and further and those tires get worn, that is where you will see issues. You get guys into each other. They may not be able to save the truck if it gets out of shape. That's where it can become a problem.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see any as either. I mean, you're talking about 5-6 more seconds at least, taking tires on a green flag pit stop. Looks like Mark Truxell may get aggressive here, going to the high side, making it 3 wide.
Truxell with no help now. He might have had Alfie Chair in there for a moment, but he goes up top. I don't think anyone's going to go with him. Tried to make a move, had the run. Drew Blaze might be thinking about it, though. He's going to tuck in off turn number 2. Is he going to stay or is he going to go?
I think he's going to stay with him. Ooh, Keaton got a little squirrely there.
That's what we talked about, that the car control that the 26 typically has. You see him messing around in the practice sessions, playing with drifting the truck and all that. He has got a lot of car control. Remember, he won the truck race at Bristol on the dirt early on in the season. So definitely somebody with some quick hands at the front of the field can bring that truck back if it gets a little bit out of shape.
You see at the tail end of this pack, Brendan Medford and Neil Quick kind of just laying back, close enough to be there, but not close enough to, if they're an accident, they're going to be involved.
Well, we're 1/5 distance here so far from Talladega Superspeedway. Alan DeFries, the inside leader. The middle pack, you got Keaton Burnett leading. And the outside high side, you got the 5 of Mark Truxell with big push coming from the 1 of Drew Blaze. All those 2 trucks still managing to maintain with these lead trucks with better numbers on the bottom. Just 2 trucks drafting together. They're making it work.
This right here is where it's at. This 3 wide, if you can handle it, this is the most fun these guys are going to have all race. A little nerve-wracking, but it's fun.
White knuckle experiences for every driver on track right now in this 3 wide pack.
And nobody here wants to be the guy. They don't want to be the guy that runs this and causes a wreck. So everybody's a little bit more on edge, I believe. Blaze just getting a really good push behind Truxell down the back stretch, able to keep Truxell right there. I think you're seeing some more of the championship contender, Brian Rose, kind of laying back. He's not liking looking up there and seeing 3 wide.
Again, for those of you just tuning in, less and less green numbers in the timing tower. That number has shrunk over the course of these playoffs. That green number indicates your championship contenders. There are 4 remaining here tonight. Only 4 of them in contention to win the title of the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series. It's Zach Millett, Brian Rose, Brandon Mefford, Neil Quick. Right now, in that order, if the race were to end now, which it's not, Zach Millett would be your champion, but we've got a lot of racing left to go before that's even considered. A little squirrely there off at turn number 4. Mike Fahey gets shuffled to the center. Drew Blaze is going to duck off of the 5 of Mark Truxell, possibly. Thought he was going to try and go with the 19 there, but they've got separated a lot more than I think Drew even expected.
Yeah, these guys are running hard up front right now, especially this early. I think these championship contenders, they're just going to say, hey, we're right around 10th and on back.
Looking out the back window from Alan DeFries as he continues to lead this race down the back straightaway.
Looks like it may be calming down a little bit as we're at least 2 wide now, not 3 wide. I spoke too soon, Steve.
You know what though? They're nicely separated. They're not door to door to door. Again, Alan DeFries, a Scar veteran here at the front of the field. Push coming from Chris Goins out of the corner. Chris, one of the cleanest drivers out here in the field. I'd put him right up there with Mark Truxell.
Mark Truxell showed a little bit of aggressiveness tonight early on. That's something we don't always see out of Mark early. He's more of a I'm coming at the end kind of guy, but he's looks like he may have some damage now. I just noticed that.
Yeah, right side does appear to have some damage on it. Keaton Burnett's in the wall in the tri-oval. Just gets a little too close to that safer barrier, scrapes the right sides of the truck. He's going to lose a ton of momentum and some positions. I think he'll be all right, though. He can tuck back in and pick up the draft once again.
Well, I know one good thing, hearing the driver's chat and hearing Brian Rose in practice, he got a little bit of a parachute, which is basically a little bit of damage on the front for you all that don't know the term or the lingo. And he said as long as he was behind somebody, he could still run right with them.
Which makes sense. I mean, you've got the car or truck in front of you that's going to break the plane of air in front of the truck that you're driving, which is all well and good if you're content or if you're the lead truck comparative to the championship drivers that you're battling against. But if you need to make a move and pull out to pass, it is just what you said it is. It is a parachute. You pull out, you put the wind in the nose of the truck, and all of a sudden you're going to go to the back unless you've got more help draft-wise to get you pushed and elevated towards the front of the field. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. You're going to have to ride.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Mark has a parachute. He definitely has the right side scraped up, but it looked like it was maybe a clean swipe.
Looking from the roof cam from Keaton Burnett to the back of Mark Truxell. No parachute for the 5. In this case, flattening that right side of the truck really makes it a little bit sleeker aerodynamically, because typically from the top to the bottom of the race truck, they are kind of rounded. You can almost see that here at the back. Little bump coming from Keaton. A little off center, has to check up just a bit. But I think Truxell will be just fine.
Yeah, he's making his move back, and I mean Keaton Burnett has proven that he's going to be tough to deal with here. He's been a good pusher, a good leader, and he's really done well when he's on that high side with someone experienced with him.
Will Hewitt currently in the lead here. Speaking of Scar veterans, but Mike Fahey taking a peek to the inside. Will Drew Blaze go with him? He does, or does he? Yes, he does. Now that's going to make the 33 kind of a rock in the lake. He's going to fall from front to back with no drafting partners up in that top. That exchange, though, albeit relatively delayed between Drew Blaze and Mike Fahey, is going to give the top spot back to Alan DeFries. Chris Goins still content, just the back bumper of the 71 giving him the push. Jamie Kerr, same situation there in the 3rd position, at least in that low lane. Mike Fahey, Drew Blaze battling back on the high side. Here comes Mark Truxell into the picture as well, once again.
I bet the Fahey fans are going nuts right now.
Truxell's going to drop down to the low side here with Keaton Burnett as well. It's going to leave 3 trucks up top. We're going to step aside and get our first break out of the way. We're going to go HBR TV side by side so you don't miss a minute. Stay with us. Green flag pit stops underway here from Talladega Super Speedway. Most of the field peeling off the racetrack and getting that pit work done. Alan DeFries leads them down. There are a handful that stayed out. Zach Millett, Brian Rose, Vincent Short, Carson Conway, Alfie Charon. Appears they all have a strategy in working together. Chris Goins taking right sides.
I just
4
noticed
tires.
that. Yeah, 4 tires.
He's going to lose a lot of ground here, but he'll probably be okay, it seems. Yes, this might work out actually pretty good for him. Because now he can take a set here at the stage. He's going to have to draft his way back through. Nonetheless, I am surprised he took him, though, only 20 laps in. Especially, he wasn't being very aggressive, was being very careful to take care of his tires early on as Zach Millett and all the HBR crew roll down pit lane here. Millett, Rose, Vincent Short, Charon, Carson. Charon, not an HBR guy, but he's running the HBR TV paint scheme tonight, so my guess is they're probably working together.
We'll see what the HBR guys do. I'm going to say gas only. Yep.
Fuel only. Alfie's down and away. Good stop for the 39. Really good stops for everybody as long as they made it out of pit lane without getting any speed penalties. You see the leaders now coming out of the tri-oval. Millett, Rose, Short, Conway, they were able to get that pit work completed before the leaders came back around, so they're going to have a good head of steam once this pack catches them once again, but they're not going to be up to full speed, I don't believe. They're going to have to hustle here. These trucks, again, they punch such a big hole in the air. It's very difficult to get them rolling.
They actually
they might have
came out
done
of the backstretch. Yeah, they came out of the backstretch a lot better than I thought they would.
That was impressive. They did a good job here. Again, 3 trucks drafting together. All 3 team trucks, HBR machines, Millett, Rose, and Short. Now, again, Millett and Rose both competing with each other for this championship. Yeah, they're going to work together for now. But as this one gets closer to crunch time, that may change.
I don't think you'll see too much of a fight here if it starts getting racy and dicey out of the 315 and the 89.
Jamie Kerr tucked in down low behind Vincent Short. Once again, the Lone Star Racing entries working together, just as HBR drivers are. Top side, the 26 to Keaton Burnett. You've got Mike Fahey, the number 19, in the middle. Drew Blaze tucked in behind there as well. Let's give a call to Mefford and Neil Quick. Brandon Mefford, the number 83, currently runs in the 14th position. And you see he's there with Neil Quick. Not officially teammates, but pseudo teammates. They're kind of on their own island against Brian Rose and Zach Millett, so they have to kind of play their own strategy. And as you said early on, Eric, that they're working really well to stay at the back of this field, not get caught up in the minutia, let this field thin itself out slightly before they start to push towards the front. With that said, though, we've been clean and green since this thing got started. Not a single yellow flag just yet. There's still time. Knock on wood. But so far, so good.
Yeah, I think you'll see the 83 and the 2 come in the front, come towards the front, towards the end. These guys I know have a lot of racing experience together. They both come from the IROC series. You know, we talk about the Lone Star series. These 2 are the IROC guys, so I'm sure they've been in conversation all week with each other, knowing that they're going against 2 HBR trucks.
Interestingly enough, you see brother Chris Mefford, the number 46/84, just ahead of Brandon Mefford. Again, also an IROC driver. These guys are likely all 3 going to work together here as it comes down to crunch time. Expect to see them draft their way towards the front and be a part of this before it's out. They're not running back there because they're slow. They're running back there because that's the plan. So just like we talked with Brian Rose, Zach Millett, working together, these guys are going to do just the same, but they're going to have to decide at what point are they no longer teammates or no longer working together, and they're just going to try and win this thing. The difference between Neil Quick and Brandon Mefford, though, is Brandon Mefford's got his brother Chris there, so he still has a wingman if he needs one later on. Neil Quick might be on his own island.
Yeah, if I was Neil Quick, I'm reaching out to, some of these other guys that may not be associated with Lone Star or HBR, and I'm going to try to get some back, and just in case, have a friend or two.
Meanwhile, up front, Zach Millett still with the lead. Mike Fahey, Drew Blaze starting to push to the outside. The 99 of Rob Hatton back in the mix as well. A little more fun fact. Brian Rose, we were talking to him pre-race, did make mention Brian Rose has never won back-to-back SCAR races in his career. That is across all platforms, whether it's the Cup Series, ARCA, Street Stocks, you name it. Never gone 2 in a row. If he wins it tonight, that would change things for sure.
Yeah, Brian's been in the SCAR series for a few seasons now, and I know he's wanting to be the champion. He's worked hard. I think he got a ARCA championship in the SCAR. I know he's wanting the Premier League championship as well.
Yeah, pretty sure Season 5 ARCA champion was Brian Rose. Hopefully I've got the season correct.
Yeah, he's really dialed in and wanting this championship, but the other 3 guys do too. We'll see who comes out with it.
One thing we did notice in talking to Brian is very similar to last week. I mean, the practice session that they ran, they always run a practice session before the main race, the actual official race. And they were very loose, just kind of cutting up, having a good time, not super intense and super focused. They got done what they had to get done, and then it was just kind of let's have a good time. And it ended up with Brian Rose in victory lane. Kind of the same thing here tonight. The practice was pretty loose. Guys were comfortable, just having fun, enjoying it, trying to soak it in. Again, this the last race of the season. Mike Fahey still the leader out in front here, bottom side. Drew Blaze, teammate from Lone Star Racing, in behind. Zach Millett there in the 3rd position in that row. Officially 8th on the board. You see how spread out everybody is, and almost contact with Chris Goins and Alan DeFries. They get away clean.
Yeah, speaking of Brian, I think he's got a little nervous with those guys. It looks like he's dropping back, him and Vincent, and looks like Zach's following him.
23 laps to go. We're just about halfway through lap 27. Again, stage break will be the completion of lap 35. Expect to see that caution come out right around the end of the backstretch on lap 35.
This front pack, I mean, they are going at it. You couldn't ask for any better 3-wide clean racing right now.
Something we've come to know and enjoy and almost expect out of the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series since the drop of the green flag in Daytona to the green flag here at Talladega Superspeedway. It's been a fantastic season, extremely competitive. Good fields. I think we started Daytona with almost 40 trucks. We've maintained a rough average of 20 to 25 every week. It's just been awesome to see. Clean races, short, aggressive races. I mean, there's nothing about this league that hasn't been top-notch. It's been great to cover here at HBR TV, and we've got a great one shaping up here for the finale at Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every week that we covered a race here, you never knew who was going to win. We had,
Well, you didn't know. You never knew, but I was closest.
Oh, here we go. I mean, we literally had, 5 or 6 guys that could win at any track that were good at that track or good at all tracks. And it's been a very great season and competitive. And, this is my favorite league out there just because of all these guys.
Mike Fahey trading the lead here with Rob Hatton back. The 96 of Will George helping teammate Hattenback to the front of the field once again. The 99, a nose out in front in turn 3, and he crossed down in front of the 19. Fahey doesn't lift.
Ooh, Fahey got a little squirrely here.
That's the way to do it. Will George and Rob Hattenback draft their way towards the front and cut down to the bottom. There was hardly any room to spare. I don't know if Fahey burped the throttle at all or not. Definitely a little bit of contact between the 19 and the 96, as you would expect. Now topside, Will Hewitt with drafting help from Jamie Kerr. Keaton Burnett behind the 75 in the third position in the top row. Chris Goins and Alan DeFries, who were out in the top 2 positions for the first portion of this race, they're in the mix still as well. Big time battle going up front. 3 wide for the lead down the back straightaway at Talladega.
Yeah, and just ahead, it looks like we're going to come up on a lack truck, so hopefully they're able to get away from that truck. Looks like maybe Mark Truxell.
Mark Truxell, there's another truck losing connection topside. I think that might be Eddie Rose. Eddie puts it in the fence there just a bit as he does lose connection. Rob Hattenback out in front, Jamie Kerr to the outside, a 2-lane train down the back straightaway, battling for that top position. Hattenback has it into turn 3. Jamie Kerr there with drafting help from Keaton Burnett. Way up top, a few rows back, is Will Hewitt. No help there, trying to entice the 71 of Alan DeFries to maybe pull out a line so he can push him or chase him up to front of the field. We'll see if it happens. At the stripe, Jamie Kerr takes the top spot. Now we're 3 wide for the lead once again into turns 1 and 2. It's Kerr, Keaton Burnett, and Chris Goins all in formation, 3 rows deep off turn number 2. I don't know how they're going to make it all the way to this stage end without a crash, but so far, so good. Once again, Lone Star Racing up the gut, down the middle lane here. Now it's Keaton Burnett, Mike Fahey, Drew Blaze, all working together, trying to push the 26 to the point. Off turn number 4, Jamie Kerr down to the bottom with a little bit of help still coming there. 3 trucks, 3 wide, 3 lanes. So go through the tri-oval right now, coming to 17 laps to go. Still 3 wide, 3 rows deep down the back straightaway. Unbelievable racing here at the front of the field. It looks like a 200-mile-an-hour pace lap at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They're 3 wide. Field working turn number 4, coming to 1 more lap here to end the stage. Lap 34. We've got 1 more time around.
Now, will that caution come out on the backstretch, Steve, or at the start-finish line?
Yeah, so once they take the lap 35, they cross the stripe, they start lap 35, caution flag will come out right about as they get to the end of the back straightaway. Again, they're lap 34 and a half right now, so basically about another lap from right now, you'll expect to see that yellow flag come out. If they're not careful, it might come out sooner, but so far so good. These guys 3 wide, 3 rows deep for the last 4 or 5 laps. It's unbelievable racing here at the front of the field. I don't know how they're going to figure out the top 10 finishers for this one, because you've got 9 of them all probably within a tenth of each other.
Good thing they ain't no stage points this race.
Tell you, they're certainly making it look good, though, here at the front of the field. Oh, contact! We've got trouble! Caution on the speedway! We talked about it just half a lap ago. We thought they were going to make it to the stage. Not so much. The 3-wide formation at the stripe ends with a wreck as we get to the line. Caution on the speedway. This will be the stage break.
On your headrest. 1, 2, 3, loud and clear. You got a good copy?
Wow.
And 4.
I don't even know where to start with this one. I know Chris Goins was a part of that one. I think Zach Millett might have been in that as well. No damage on the 315. Well, let's take a look. Oh, looks like the 26 gets turned maybe off the nose of Mike Fahey, an inadvertent turn. Let's back things up a little further. You see the 26 in the tri-oval. Here, let's go to Keaton Burnett. Nice and slow here. Oh, no. Alan DeFries, an ill-timed push to the 6. Sends Goins down into Keaton Burnett, and into the wall they go. It's going to collect DeFries, Will Hewitt. Drew Blaze might have got a piece of that as well. A little bit of impact to the wall. Hattenback's going to get turned. Looks like Hewitt's going to get him as well. Tries to turn. No, he clears the 99. You see Zach Millett and Brian Rose left of your screen, avoiding this way down to the bottom.
Unless the 99 gets him.
No, Brian goes to the right side there. They both get clear. Now, Neil Quick, did he make it through okay as well? Yeah, without a problem. These guys are way back in the pack, avoiding that. That strategy paying off for sure.
Yeah, I think that's what I would have done if I was a championship driver here.
So with that said, I think officially Zach Millett going to be credited with winning the stage. Brian Rose is going to beat him out of the pits, though. It's going to be Brian Rose, Zach Millett, Vince Short, Will Hewitt.
If I've seen that right, I think Zach may have took rights and Brian didn't take nothing.
No tires for Brian Rose and right sides only for Zach Millett. Vincent Short, no tires at all. Will Hewitt, right sides. Alan DeFries took 4. Rob Hattenback took 4. So did Chris Goins and Will George. Very, very interesting. We got Brewer Plays popping in the stream chat saying, good evening, all. Thanks for joining us. 7-Eleven Tricks, same thing. Good evening, all. Let's go. V. I think he's cheering on Vincent Short. Well, I think Zach Millett's going to be the stage winner, so let's see if we can pull him up. Talk to him here. We can find him.
I think they are in the HBR.
They are. So I will pull them into there. And honestly, Eric, if you want to pop over with us, we can do that too.
Okay.
Zach, it's Steve and Eric in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's up, guys?
We had to hunt for you a little bit. You weren't over in the other chat, but we found you in the HBR TV Discord. I think with that wreck, you technically get credit with the stage win. I know the points don't really matter, but currently, at least prior to the pit stops, you were the points leader coming into that cycle. Now it's Brian Rose, but walk us through that first stage. It was pretty clean up until the start of that last lap for the stage. Now we got to shoot out to the finish to decide a champion. What's your strategy moving forward? What do you think your odds are to take home the title?
Man, I don't know. It's pretty crazy out here. I think a lot of guys want to get this final win for the season. So and those LSR guys are strong tonight. Those guys are flying. So, you know, hopefully we can stick together as teammates there and maybe even work with some of the LSR guys and stay up front and get a win and love a championship. We're going to try like hell to get it.
You've got some HBR teammates and some other SCAR veterans and Will Hewitt and Alan DeFries up front in that top 5. You're in good company, sir. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, guys.
Was Zach Millett I think your stage winner? We don't have confirmation on that just yet, but again, it's kind of irrelevant. Stage points don't really make much of a difference at this point in the game. With that, we're going to take a very short break. We'll be back after this.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Pace car is off, about to start our final stage. It'll be a 12-lap shootout to decide the winner of this race and eventually the champion of the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series. Zach Millett and Brian Rose lead the field. Waiting on a green flag here through the tri-oval. Again, start-finish further down the road, not like Daytona.
Green flag.
Field comes to life. 12 laps to go.
Let's go. This is for all the marbles. The SCAR Championship on the line. I don't know if you'll see these two HBR trucks work together too much now. They both want to win this. These two are teammates and work together, but they also talk a lot of trash.
Brian Rose out in front. Vincent Short pushing the 89 machine towards the front. Will Hewitt behind 315 of Zach Millett. We approach 11 laps to go. Keep a close eye on Neil Quick and Brandon Mefford as they work the high side. All by themselves, really. It's both Meffords and Neil Quick trying to make it work. We saw it work with just two trucks early on in the race. This could work. Chris Wally in the stream chat. I rock to the top. Something to keep in mind. To win the championship, you do not have to win the race. You just have to outrun the other three guys. If Chris Mefford wins the race and Brandon Mefford finishes second, well, there you go. He would be the champion. Zach Millett not getting any help. No friends at the front of the field. He's dropping through the pack. Tucks back in behind the 33 of Will Hewitt. He's got Alan DeFries behind him. Right now, it's Brian Rose and Vincent Short in command here at the front of the field. Keaton Burnett is in behind Vincent Short in the third position. Behind him, it's the 99 of Rob Hattenback.
Yeah, I think Zach's going to have the hardest problem getting somebody to work with if that's not HBR. That's just because he's dominated all season.
Well, that's the thing about running a race here at the Super Speedways, Daytona, Talladega, is, yeah, you can be really good at all those other tracks, but this is kind of the great equalizer. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be the fast guy right out of the box. Yeah, he ran well. He qualified well. He's up front. It doesn't mean he's going to race well. We got trouble. Chris Mefford's around. Jamie Kerr in it as well. Drew Blaze. Brandon Mefford gets collected. Neil Quick just gets on the binders and avoids the whole mess, it seems. Caution on the speedway, less than 10 laps to go. Now remember, fast repairs are available. They do have one each. We know that Neil Quick didn't need it in this one. Brandon Mefford wasn't involved in anything early on, so he'll be okay, but he's going to have to power from the back after getting that truck repaired.
Chris Wally jinxed him in our chat.
Chris Wally, I rocked at the top. That was the jinx, Chris. You got to be careful. Every time we pick someone here, they end up wrecking too, so just be careful.
Chris Wally's fault.
So Brandon Mefford here with some nose damage. He's certainly going to want to get that fixed. Going to burn that fast repair to stay in this. Let's try and get a look, see what happened. Back it up a little bit further. It looks like this might have started with... Well, I'm going to go on board here with Brandon Mefford. Watch it from his angle, because I don't know if it was an ill-timed push. He's to the left side of Chris. Chris comes down a bit. Jamie Kerr comes up just a little. Chris comes down a little further. Might have been a little net code as well. Tough to say. And then there you go. The wreck is on. Keaton Burnett gets a piece of it. Chris slides up in front of brother Brandon. And you see the two of Neil Quick, that number 2 WR1 sim chassis machine, on the brakes heavy, just kind of getting slowed up, staying out of the mess, keeping the front of that machine clean. God, big wreck. Chris Goins gets a piece of it on the bottom with Carson Conway. Field comes down the banking, clips the 72 as well. Well, well, well. With that, we are going to take another break. We will be right back after this with the conclusion of the Dega Decision Maker 125. Stay with us.
The great thing about youth sports, they give young people an opportunity to participate in something that is going to broaden them as people.
I think it's very amazing that Garza Law Firm has made a commitment to help the youth kids with playing different sports.
Guys like Marcos Garza that put their time into being able to help these kids live out a dream. It's made me who I am today.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short... Welcome back to Talladega Super Speedway, the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series Championship race, the Dega Decision Maker 125. Under our second caution of the afternoon, one technically for an incident that we counted as the stage, but these guys have been pretty solid all afternoon long. Again, the first stage went almost full distance without any problems whatsoever. We've had a pretty big one here. That's involved many drivers, including the 83 of Brandon Mefford. Brandon had to roll down pit lane and burn his faster pair, so he is now without a safety net for the duration of this event. In fact, no, he did not use his faster pair. Nose banged up pretty good. He's hanging on to it. In the break, Eric, you and I were talking. I think they've got another one left, according to what you said. Maybe Brandon's thinking the same thing. The problem with the 83, though, he is designated as a pusher at this point. If with that kind of nose damage, he sneaks that thing out into the wind, it is not going to be doing well.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are all going for the win. Even the playoff guys, they want to win this race. So I think maybe a smart move. We may see another caution here.
So we're going to restart here. Will Hewitt with the lead. Zach Millett to the outside. Then it's Brian Rose, Alan DeFries, Vince Short, Keaton Burnett, Neil Quick up to 7th spot, Will George, Mike Fahey, Carson Conway, that's the top 10. Then it's Chris Goins, Brandon Mefford, Jamie Kerr, Alfie Sharon Jr., Chris Mefford, the top 15. Then Mark Truxell in 16th. Drew Blaze, Rob Hattenback, 17th and 18th, still in pit lane. Maybe they burned a faster pair early on. I'm not 100% sure. If my memory serves me right, I think that they're in there for the duration. They may be out of contention here. Pace car about to pull off. We're going to go back to green with 6 laps to go to settle it.
Yeah, I think these guys will be aggressive from the start here, too. See when Will Hewitt decides to go.
Ready, green, 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 green.
Green flag in the air. We're back underway. 6 laps to go.
And, you know, before the caution came out, nobody really wanted to work with Zach. He's been a force to be reckoned with all year. So I think what he's doing right now is probably smart. He's had trouble getting somebody to help him, so maybe he just needs to push Will Hewitt and finish in front of everybody else that's in the championship.
It's definitely a strategy that he would need to implore. Push someone to a win. He's in position to win the championship, but not by much. Brian Rose there right to the back bumper of the 315. A little bit of damage, it appears. The back of Zach Millett's machine in the rear spoiler area in the rear deck. He might be forced. Oh, maybe no. He's going to the outside, looking for the lead here off turn 4 with help from teammate Brian Rose. To the point goes Zach Millett once again. Did not expect this. Coming to 5 laps to go. Millett and Rose both drop to the bottom here as the lead. No, Neil Quick looking to the outside. Big push coming from Brian Rose down into turn number 1.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm Brian Rose if I like this decision, because if Will gets on that, or if Neil gets on that high side.
Brian Rose looking to the outside in front of the 2 of Neil Quick off turn number 2. Zach Millett didn't know he was there, had to cut down in front of Will Hewitt off turn 2. More bumping and banging going down the back straightaway. They're all the way below the yellow line. Out in front, Brian Rose, but not for long. Neil Quick dives to the bottom. Less than 5 laps to go into turn number 3. Neil Quick taking the top spot. No drafting help, or is there? Mike Fahey to the back. Nope. Zach Millett slides up to the middle in front of teammate Brian Rose. Millett in position once again. We've got 3 championship contenders here fighting for the top 3 positions in the race as they come to 4 laps to go.
These guys are not holding anything back. They're all trying to go right now. Zach Millett able to lead. Neil Quick fighting hard on that inside. Here comes the 96 to make it 3 wide.
Brandon Mefford running back in the 12th position, not able to work his way towards the front. There's still plenty of time. You never know. This whole group could wad it up coming to the start-finish line, and Mefford could pick up the scraps and maybe a title. Remains to be seen here. 3.5 laps to go. The field down the back straightaway. The 96 of Will George nose is out in front. Down into turn number 3. They slot back down to the bottom. Millett and Rose cut across the nose of Neil Quick. Neil trying to move to the outside. Gets in front of Will Hewitt. Nothing doing there. Now Chris Goins tries to take that position away from Neil Quick on the bottom. Millett's got a block. Millett needed to block. He didn't get it done. Neil Quick to the middle with drafting help coming from Will Hewitt. Vincent Short behind the 33 as well. He's going to be a player before this one's out. Now we've got 3 laps to go.
Neil Quick doing everything he can to keep that 89 down there where he can maybe get a little bit of side draft and get the push from the 33.
Will George coming on the outside with some help as well. That's the 39 of Alfie Sharon Jr. giving the 96 a push.
Those guys made up some ground down this back stretch as Will George could be fighting for the lead coming out of turn 4 here.
Will George backing up just a bit here off turn number 4. Millett still with the lead. Brian Rose still looking to the outside, trying to find a way around. Gives a big push to the 315 through the tri-oval, through the bump in the middle of the tri-oval. Dangerous place. Neil Quick up in the middle. Will Hewitt giving the 2 a push down into turn number 1. Will Hewitt trying to help Neil Quick get out towards the front, or maybe he's just trying to pick up another trophy. Will Hewitt's got 2 on the season, would love to make it 3. Still less than 2 laps to go before we decide it, and a whole lot can change before we see a checkered flag.
The 89 glued to the back of the 315, but once they cross this line, I think it changes.
Down into turn 3, looking for a white flag the next time by. Millett still out in front. Brian Rose, Chris Goins, the top 3.
Here we go, coming down to the white flag. This is for the championship.
It's a thing of beauty going through the trioval. Looked like 3 wide from front all the way to the back, flying in formation. White flag in the air. One more time around to decide a champion. Right now, the top 3 in the points are the top 3 in the race. Millett, Rose, Quick, off turn number 2 for the final time.
Neil Quick's in trouble. He don't have no help on that middle.
Vincent Short in behind the 2. Move coming from Brian Rose. Millett looking to the bottom, trying to block Chris Gones. Now Brian Rose is caught in the center. Will Hewitt up topside. Will George going for the move.
Neil's going to try to push Brian right here and maybe try a slingshot move at the end.
Off turn number 4, Brian Rose, get a run. Neil Quick in the 2, pushing the 89 through the trioval, coming to the stripe. Who is it going to be? It's going to be a photo finish, and they're wrecking. Cross the line, and Neil Quick, I think Neil Quick won this. The 2 may have crossed the line first as the field crashes coming to the stripe. Neil Quick might be our SCAR champion. Unbelievable finish and damage on the 2. It doesn't matter. It's over. Neil Quick takes it by 5/100ths of a second over the 3:15 of Zach Millett.
Wow.
Replay of the finish coming to the stripe. Vincent Short gets turned into the 3:15, and the chain reaction turns him into Brian Rose, and they wreck across the finish line. Neil Quick, doesn't matter if it's ugly or not, it's a win as Fahey drills him in the door at the finish.
Can we see the blimp of that?
Mefford giving Neil Quick a push back to the start-finish line. Let's see if we can get a blimp view of that finish once again.
I mean, look at, if you're Brian Rose, you see the championship right here. I mean, you think you got it. You look down and you're a half a truck of in front of Zach. Neil's behind you, and just out of nowhere, I know Brian's got to be disheartened. Out of nowhere, I mean, he thinks he's winning this.
I mean, I'll be honest, it looked like the 3:15 had the run on the bottom. It would have been very, very close at the line either way. Man, oh man. So Neil Quick, your champion.
Regular season and playoff.
I don't think truck's even running.
It was smoking, so it may have blew. Neil Quick been so consistent. He came on last season. Wasn't able to compete last season, but done really good, dominated a lot, and we talked about it. If you go back to the tapes from last season, he was going to be a force, and he was.
It's kind of a cool burnout that Millett and Mefford are doing here for Neil Quick, knowing Neil can't celebrate. That's pretty cool. Glad we stuck around for that one. But we're going to step aside, get one big break out of the way, get our top 3 up in the booth after this. Stay with us, folks.
I would definitely recommend the Garza Law Firm to all my family and friends because I know how he's treated me. I have been playing basketball ever since I can remember. I just finished my 6-year career playing for the University of Tennessee. I feel like we're both striving to be better every day. He's always responded quickly and has always come through with whatever he said that he's going to do. The Garza Law Firm is definitely somebody you want on your team.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Talladega Super Speedway, the conclusion of the Dega Decision Maker 125 in the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series. Champion Neil Quick played his cards perfectly right all afternoon long. Ran that number 2 machine at the back of the pack most of the evening to take care of his stuff and was there when it mattered. Crosses the finish line, wins the race, takes it by 5/100ths of a second, and takes a championship. Neil Quick, it's Steve and Eric in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, guys. How about that, man?
Unbelievable finish, a great race, and I hate to say it on your end, it was pretty boring for quite a while, up until the last, 5-10 laps when you got that thing into gear and got going. You certainly made it interesting there at the finish. Tell us about your strategy. I think we've got an idea what it was, but it seemed that you and Mefford and, both Meffords had a plan coming in. Walk us through it.
Yeah, guys. These trucks get such runs on each other, and you can get somebody pushed to squirrely and not too hard to do that. You know what I'm saying? And my thing was I just wanted to ride back and possibly save that quick repair, knowing that the way the end of the race was going to shape up. And as soon as we got to the stage break there and got that last run, it was kind of go time and try to figure out where we need to be. But man, I'm gonna tell you, the first 35 laps, I think by lap 34, I said something to one of the other guys. I was like, man, poor Steve and Eric up there right now in the booth. But I mean, after that, it started to shape up and turn into a real race. And I mean, what a hell of a race with Zach and Brian and Will and all the guys there the last 2 or 3 laps. I mean, I was throwing out the boat anchor a couple times and well, it's over now. But man, that last lap there and coming off of 3 and 4 and being in the middle of the lane, going down the back straightaway, both lanes going around inside and outside of you. You're in the tunnel, you're going, well, it's over. And Brian moved up there in turn 3 and I started to get ahead of steam and kind of pushed him and tried to get him out ahead and had just enough of room to kind of sneak up in front of Will there. And I got to Brian's quarter panel, and I think that made the difference. And then I think, unfortunately, his pusher that was back there that probably could have pushed him through kind of had some trouble. So a little bit of luck, a little bit of this, but man, just excited to be get the championship, and it's been on my mind all day and how to approach this and do the right thing. So, but what a great race there at the end, guys.
And I will say that, you might have thought things were boring for me and Eric up in the booth based on where you were running the first portion of the race. Things were absolutely insane at the front of the field most of the race. It was a bunch of guys not running for a championship, guys looking for maybe their first win of the season, and they were all fighting it out, putting on a good show for us here at HBR TV. So the viewers got a good show of that, and then a great showing for you guys here with the championship coming down to the line. It was an awesome race, start to finish. Congratulations on the championship, Neil. Well earned. You got it done, man. Nice work.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys doing the broadcast all year and the admin that helped put the league on. And man, I'm going to tell you, the utmost respect for the racers in the league that I've raced all year. I mean, there's some great drivers over here and look forward to racing with them in the future. And man, can't say much more about it. I mean, if you guys had that 3-wide race and we were back so far, I'm not sure we saw it all the time. I know at one time I was like, I can't even see them. We're going in the corner. They're gone. So, but man, it was fun. Like I said, very, very exciting. and very lucky and fortunate to be on top at the end. Like I said, the 4 guys that are raced here for a championship, any one of them could have won, and they're all great drivers, and everybody in the league. I mean, there were some really good drivers tonight.
Well, I know how much you love super speedway racing, but I think
I hate it.
it doesn't really seem to matter. I think he led 1 lap. It was the last lap, and it was like by what, inches? We got to look at the actual freeze frame later on, but it was close.
I haven't got to see the replay. I just know once I kind of moved up there and tried to get to Brian's quarter panel, you're cinched up in the seat just waiting for that hit to turn you or spin you, and it came. I mean, I did get hit, and I was like, you're kind of trying to get your bearings to see, hey, did somebody pass me where I'm at? Trying to look at the relative or the standings, and look down, and I saw 1, and I'm like, oh my God, so much relief. So, but yeah, thank you guys, appreciate it.
Well, Neil, we've got you in the booth. If you're already looking at my screen here, we've got it shared in the channel. We'll pull this replay up so you can watch it live with us. Just let me know when you're ready, and I'll fire it off.
Yep, I'm watching it right here.
Okay, so watching it, this is from the blimp coming to the stripe through the tri-oval right now.
Yeah, this is where I was really scared. I didn't want to move up and get into Will, but I was trying to get enough of Brian's quarter panel to get him grabbed and pulled back. But I think fortunately I got up in front of Will, and oh, yeah, Vince was going to be the pusher for Brian there. And wow, that's crazy.
Close.
That is crazy. That's one hell of a finish, guys.
That's a finish and a half.
Yeah, so definitely, guys, thank you. And don't want to forget sponsors, of course, WR1 Sims, Track Bar Media, HBR, everything you guys do for us. Of course, Chris Wiley for putting great paint schemes on my truck every week, 5-star graphics, R&R Racewear. So, but with those guys and with you guys, couldn't be out here doing this, so thank you.
Neil, once again, congratulations. We're going to let you get out of here as champion. Is there anyone else that you need to thank? I think you got them all, but just in case you forgot anybody.
It's some of the guys that no longer are racing over here that we're good friends with. I mean, that allowed me to get over here and have helped me along the way. I know one of them who's become a friend has been David Bradford, a great racer and past champion in SCAR. So definitely like to extend thanks out to him too. So, but definitely been a great league, and been very fortunate to get to run over here.
All right, Neil. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next season, and well, have a good off season.
You too, guys. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
You too.
Thanks.
It's Neil Quick, your race winner and SCAR champion. Next, we're going to go to Zach Millett. Close, but no cigar. Pull Zach in the broadcast booth and get a word with our runner-up. Zach Millett, it's Steve and Eric in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Zach Millett, I know this one was close for, well, really the HBR side on so many different levels. It seemed coming to the stripe, you might have had a bit of a run on Brian Rose. It might have been a photo finish, but it was just not meant to be. Some trucks mid-pack kind of that got crossed up, and it was a chain reaction crash that we saw. Ended up taking Vince Short, yourself, and many, many others, including Brian Rose, out right as we got to the start-finish line. What did it look like from your perspective? I know a lot of it happened behind you. Overall, I guess just tell us about your race.
Well, once we got to that white flag, it was just kind of grip the wheel as hard as you can and hope for the best, because you almost kind of expect the chaos. But, the whole race really went perfectly to plan, kind of stayed towards the front, but far enough away to kind of, check up for for wreck. And Brian and I were real nervous there the whole first stage. There was some real close running up there, and we didn't want anything to do with it. So pits went perfect. We got out great, made it to the stage. Everything was good. Had a great run there the last 10 laps. Caution really made it a sprint, but we had a pretty good run, I think. Coming to the white flag, Brian and I, we were kind of saying, this is where we part ways, and God be with you. and well, that's kind of what happened. It's a real shame that there was a wreck at the end there, because it would have been a hell of a finish. He was a nose out ahead, but I was pretty close to getting a pretty good run from Chris. He was sticking by me pretty good.
Looked like Brian also had pushes from Vincent Short, so it really, I think, would have come down to a photo finish really between, it really would have been between yourself, Brian, and Neil Quick, I think, at the stripe. It wasn't meant to be. It was still a crazy finish nonetheless, but with all that said, I mean, Mike Fahey made contact, I think, with the inside. Vincent Short effectively turned him. He did mention it in the stream chat that he needs to go hide now, but I think it'll be all right. It's racing. These things happen.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And, you know, if it wasn't Mike, it'd be somebody else. It's just restrictor plate racing at its finest on the last lap. It is what it is. You just have to expect it.
Well, Zach, second place in the race by 0.05 of a second, and second place in the overall standings for the championship. Congratulations, man. It's still a feat to be had. This Premier Series has been very competitive throughout the year. I know you had a bunch of wins, but you got to get it all the way to the finish line at the end of the year. Just one short. Either way, a great season. Congratulations. Anybody you want to thank before we let you go?
Thanks, Steve. I think it's been a hell of a season. This is my first season in SCAR, so I was just happy to be here and compete against the talent in this group. It's definitely a game changer playing iRacing and you know, racing these guys. It's a hell of a lot of fun. But I'd like to thank you guys at HBR TV, you and Eric, and Track Bar Media. Thanks to all the guys in this league for showing up every week, and it was really something to look forward to. And it's a shame we won't get a chance to run SCAR again, but hey, it is what it is. Shoot me a follow on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. All 4 this time, Steve. At that S4 guy.
Look at you.
I know, we're raring. Last one, might as well go big.
All right, Zach. Again, congratulations, man, and good luck wherever you land, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Well, Zach Millett, your second place finisher in the race and in the championship hunt. We're going to go to Chris Goins, third place finisher in the race here today. Not in it for the championship, but Chris Goins, it's Steve and Eric in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, Steve, I got you.
Third place finish here today at Talladega Superspeedway. Of course, not in it for a championship tonight, but hunting a trophy, hunting a checkered flag. Tell us about your race and really what it looked like out the windshield of that eye-lending Tundra as you came to a checkered flag here at Talladega.
Well, to be honest with you, I couldn't really see much out of the windshield other than the 315. But then all of a sudden he disappeared. So I shot to the bottom and didn't see anybody to my right. So I was hoping that maybe I had stolen a win there. But those last couple laps were pretty intense. The whole race really, you guys saw it, was 3 wide a lot. So, but I got behind Zach and Brian there at the very end, with the last couple laps, and I didn't have anywhere to go. So I figured I'll just ride with them, and whoever wants to be on the bottom, I would just try and push to the win. So, unfortunately that didn't work out as anticipated for those guys, but I'm happy with the top 3.
Solid finish either way. I mean, a third place finish. I think you started, what was it, P6 today?
Yeah, 6.
Spent some time, most of the night, really up towards the front of the field and managed to get the truck home relatively in one piece. I guess we'll count 100 yards from the finish line in one piece.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't really take that much damage even on that last one. I think I was the only one whose car was straight, whose truck was straight there at the end. So, I dodged it, and I just didn't have enough momentum because I think Zach was using Neil as a plow there, so he pushed him ahead of me. So,
well, either way, Chris, a solid run, top 3 finish here to finish out the season. Congratulations. Good luck going forward in the Lone Star Racing Truck Series. I think that's starting back up again here on Thursday, so keep an eye out for that. Before we let you go, though, anybody else you want to thank?
Just the family here at home. We've all kind of been under the weather the last few days, but so this is a welcome change here. Something that was needed, but iLending for being on the truck. Right Turn Racing, you guys at HPR TV for broadcasting, and the whole SCAR series. I appreciate the fun season.
Well, thanks for talking to us, Chris. Again, good luck going forward.
Thanks, Steve.
It's Chris Goins, your third place finisher. Next, we're going to bring Brian Rose up into the broadcast booth. Not a top 3 driver as far as the race goes, but top 3 in the points. Brian, it's Steve and Eric in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Brian Rose, man, tough break. That one is a hard pill to swallow. It looked like just feet away from a checkered flag and a championship. Walk us through the last, 1,000 yards of this one.
Well, congratulations to Neil. He played a good strategy, and it paid off for him. He knew he was going to be there at the end. Going into turn 3, I wanted to make sure that, me and Zach was together, but I told him, coming to the white flag, this is kind of where we part ways and let the cards fall where they may. And, man, I've been watching the replay. I don't think I could have made any other move or done anything differently there. I set myself up. Thanks to all my teammates, HBR sticking with me tonight, and good job for Zach getting up there P2. It was a good run, man. Chips just didn't fall our way tonight.
Scar certainly knew that HBR was here tonight with Millett finishing P2 and you taking third in the points. Of course, Neil Quick takes the championship and the race win, but again, he played the strategy, worked to his advantage, and, well, it ended up with a victory for him. You and Zach both looked extremely strong all night long. I know Super Speedways is kind of right in your guys, or at least your wheelhouse. Not so much Zach Millett's, but he can hang with you any day of the week, I believe.
Well, yeah, and, it's you see it out there, CPAC racing, and you think that, it's just flat-footed as far as you can go, but I probably only was flat-footed there on the last 2 laps of the race. It really comes down, if you want to be good in a league like this, like Scar was this past season, if you want to be good, you got to practice, and getting out there and practicing those pit stops, that was a big thing for us to be able to get down there. But, thanks to Black Acid Racing Apparel, Eric Dotson, State Farm, for putting this on R&R Racewear, Scar, HBR TV, Trap Bar Media, everybody at HBR. It's been a long season, but we've all stuck together, and we've made some pretty big strides and came a long way. I think we've all gotten a lot better. Don't know what next season will hold. Don't know where we'll be, but I enjoyed Scar while I was running it, and sad to see what might come about, but either way, it was a good season. I'm proud to be where I was, and congratulations again to Neil and all the championship 4.
Well, Brian, thanks for coming up and chatting with us. Congratulations on a great season and a solid finish here tonight. Not what you expected, not what you wanted, but either way, congratulations, man. Well done.
Thank you, guys.
Brian Rose, 3rd place in the points. It looks like a 5th place finish possibly here. They're still trying to figure out the official race results, but it's going to be pretty solid. It's going to be Neil Quick, Zach Millett, Chris Gones, Will Hewitt, and Brian Rose kind of shake out somewhere in the middle there too. We'll get that squared away for you guys later on, but taking a look at the race results, at least as of now, Neil Quick, Zach Millett, Chris Gones, Will Hewitt, Brian Rose. That's your top 5. Then it's Will George, Chris Mefford, Carson Conway with a top 10. Brandon Mefford was 9th after some late race damage. Alfie Charon Jr. was 10th. Mike Fahey 11th. Vincent Short was 12th. Alan DeFries finished P13. Keaton Burnett 14th. Jamie Kerr was 15th. Mark Truxell finished in the 16th spot. Drew Blaze 17th. Rob Hattenbach finished in the 18th position. 19th went to Eddie Rose, and while Eric Dotson was in the booth, so he doesn't really get 20th, but I guess we'll give it to you anyway.
Yes. Does it pay out?
No. Well, Eric, I mean, let's wrap things up here, put a bow on it here. This is the Superior Class Auto Racing finale. This is it. This is no more. This is the last race of the season. We crowned a champion. It's Neil Quick. A well-done, masterful, strategic job by Neil Quick. He's fast. He's like a Zach Millett when it comes to most of these places. But coming to a super speedway, that's the equalizer. You've got to change things up. You've got to work a little strategy, and that's what Neil Quick did, and it paid off.
Yeah, I mean, Neil ran a great season all year. He, he's our regular season champion and our playoff champion. So, that kind of tells you how consistent he is. As much as Zach Millett won, and Zach Millett put wins up like crazy, but it's all about the consistency, and Neil was able to be a little bit more consistent, get the regular season championship, and then, if you always say if at a track like this, but he put himself in the right position, and a little bit of luck probably helped him, but it doesn't matter. He's the champion.
If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, what a wonderful Christmas we would have.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure everybody's saying what if right now, towards that last. I mean, we had 3 guys, Medford's probably, kicking himself for not using his fast repair now. So we could go on all day with that.
And truthfully with that, I mean, maybe he didn't even know we had one. I don't know if there was an official drivers meeting, as we did have a little bit of a shakeup with admins at the end of last week's race. So there may not have been an official drivers meeting. And typically, the drivers don't get a fast repair in this series. Only on the super speedways are they allotted one. So Brandon may not have known. He got here pretty late in the practice session, so maybe it didn't come up. It's something that may come out. But again, like you said, Eric, ifs and buts. That's what that is. If he forgot the fast repair, but he didn't use it, or whatever the reasons were. Bottom line is, it didn't happen. And he finished, I think it was 9th overall, not in contention for this championship really at any point tonight. So tough break for Brandon Medford. Definitely not indicative of the talent that he has behind the wheel of one of these trucks.
Yeah, I mean, he came on strong and really raced well, put some wins together, and he's a force to be reckoned with.
Certainly is. Well, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. Again, this is it's been a treat, so to speak, here. I've got to say that this really is going to be HBR TV's, well, never say never, but likely to be our final broadcast with Superior Class Auto Racing. They're moving in a different direction next season, not so much with broadcasting, just overall with the league. Not going to work out as far as the broadcast is concerned, but no worries. We're all still friends. It's not a big deal. I do want to go and thank every one of those guys in Superior Class Auto Racing, especially guys like David Bradford, Cody Harger, Bobby Hamilton Jr. especially. He's essentially the reason that I'm sitting here doing this now. He asked me a long time ago, not super long, maybe a year and a half, 2 years now, hey, do you want to broadcast some races for us? Because their broadcaster got a new job, wasn't able to do it anymore. I had started to dabble in it slightly. I said, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'll give it a shot. And it's grown into what we know as HBR TV today. So I first and foremost have to thank Bobby Hamilton Jr. for just saying, hey, can you do this? And us taking the ball and running with it and turning it into something that's really been really great, not just for SCAR, but for us at HBR TV as well. Of course, David Bradford being involved behind the scenes, a big time help, not only with us, with the league in general, with the broadcast, with the drivers and helping getting them up to speed on things. He has been great. And then, of course, Cody Harger kind of being the anchor of the league all season long, just trying to get this stuff done while he travels for his work, travels with his son going to racetracks and drag racing and trying to balance it all. I can't imagine how he does it. It is not easy. So kudos to him and a big salute for doing just that. I can't imagine how you do it. And it's tough to do. With that said, HBR TV, please, if you like what you watched tonight, it doesn't have to be SCAR. It could be a different league. And we do broadcast other leagues. Going into January, February, we're going to be rolling 4, maybe even 5 nights a week. So give us a like, follow, share, subscribe, youtube.com/@HBR TV and the number 1. That is our handle. Also on facebook.com/HBRTV1. We do the broadcasting on the YouTube and miscellaneous posts here and there on the Facebook side. So do that for both. It does help the channel. Certainly like the broadcast. It helps push it to a wider audience. It does help us here at the channel significantly. First and foremost, though, I've got to thank all you guys for tuning in and actually showing up to watch these things. And especially now that we're post-race, I still got 11 viewers. Maybe they're race drivers, maybe they're not. I don't care. I thank you guys all for tuning in, especially those of you that were in the stream chat interacting with us every week. That makes this so much better. It's not fun to broadcast to nobody. And we know we got fans out there cheering us on, cheering out race drivers, chatting us up. It makes a big difference. And last but not least, Eric Dotson, volunteering his time to sit up here in the booth all season long with us, not asking for a single penny. You are a saint, sir, and your work in the booth has definitely gone noticed. I very much appreciate your help.
Hey, it was fun. I'm glad you had me here. Maybe we do another series. Maybe I go back to racing. I'm like everything else right now. I'm uncertain.
Well, any night that you're available and you want to jump in the booth, you are always more than welcome, and I will be sure that you are my first call if I ever have a league saying, hey, I want 2 guys in the booth. I'll be like, all right, but it's going to cost you. So we got to get that into Eric's contract.
Yeah. It's been fun, and I think it's I haven't went back and listened to the first race to this race, but I'm sure I've sounded a lot better, improved a lot.
Absolutely, 100%. And I've made mention to that, not only in the broadcast, but to you in private. But your abilities in the booth have gotten comfortable. You've gotten better at it. Your ability to call the action, no different than I. It's awesome. It made my job as a broadcaster easier. So again, I thank you for that.
I'm just glad you had me here. Glad we had fun, and we'll see what happens next.
All right, well, enough of this kumbaya crap. We got to get out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. Tune us in again, HBR TV, youtube.com/@HBRTV1 if you want to follow these broadcasts. Subscribe, turn on the notifications. We've got more racing coming up. No league race this week as far as Thursday goes. I am unfortunately unavailable to cover the Lone Star Racing Truck Series event, but we will be covering their Toys for Tots weekend races. They've got 2 coming up. We've got Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, I think, is going to be a dirt derby. It's going to be total chaos. And then Sunday, we go back on the asphalt. So tune into that. Links will be posted on the Facebook page, facebook.com/HBRTV1 for all those details. So tune in. It'll be a good time, and it's for a good cause. They've already raised a good bunch of money to donate to Toys for Tots. They do it every year. It's really a great job that those Lone Star Racing guys do. So tune in for it. Should be a good time. All right, Eric, that's it. Final call. I'm Steve Singer with HBR TV, congratulating Neil Quick on the race win here in the Dega Decision Maker 125 and winning the Superior Class Auto Racing Premier Series Championship. Thanks a lot, Eric. I'm Steve Singer. That's Eric Dotson. We're out of here. Checkered flag. Contact and Brian Rose wins it. A photo finish at the line. Oh, we got a wreck. Will Hewitt's through the trial for the final time, and oh, they're wrecking. Big trouble. Vincent Short sneaks through, and I think Short...
The great thing